How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today, for the first time I think in the history of the channel, we're doing a Master Duel video, which is kind of crazy, right? Everybody's here with us. We're streaming every Wednesday. We just gave away 2 Cartesia playmats, so join us. Hit the bell, subscribe to get notified. But we're here to talk about the Tearlaments killer, the anti-Ishizu. One of the best branded builds I've ever come up with, and it's for Master Duel of all things. We still don't have Bestials, so it's a bit harder to play against Tear. And Tear Ishizu is like almost full power, but not really. It's a lot more manageable, I think, with the limitations that they dropped on Tear before released. And I think this deck is absolutely amazing. We just streamed for like 3 hours. We did not lose a single game to Tear in Platinum. And I'm really enjoying this. So I do want to go over the deck, explain to you what happens, and also show you on screen sometimes some parts of replays that we did go through and how good this deck is. The whole point about the deck is using Branded and High Spirits and Branded Opening, and of course Lubellion, to discard Keldo and Medora to the graveyard. And by that, basically being prepared against Tear. This is the way. Tearlaments don't give a crap about anybody else. They will mill you with Agito and Kelback for 5. And when they do, they will hit your Medora and Keldo. Also, we're playing 3 DD Crow, Maxi, Ash, that also puts a dent into Tear. And this deck has been performing really well on Master Duel. So let's go over the card by card. 3 DD Crow because we don't have any Bestials. It's such a good card. It also hits the the spells, any cost card. It doesn't have to be a monster. It also can hit Rhino hard, which Bestials can't. So DD Crow is essential until we get Bestials. It's very good. I think for the small portion of the time that we had Tear but didn't have Bestials, people were playing DD Crows. 1 Tragedy, definitely enough. You don't want to go over 42 at this build, and we don't have Allure of Darkness or things like Polymerization, Edgem Patchwork, Edgem Chain Package, stuff like that. So definitely 1 Tragedy, 3 Maxi, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Albaz, because again, in a Tear meta, people will mill you for 5 or 10, and you don't want to lose all your Albaz to the graveyard. So 3 is absolutely fine here. 2 Allure because that's all we can. Ecclesia is really good, I think, as the light target to the deck. You can, of course, think about Snow or Eldritch the Golden Lord. Eldritch is cool. Snow is not that great, especially with like Tear in the format, and you're like constantly shuffling back cards from the deck, from the graveyard back to your deck. It's just not feasible. I don't like Snow and Branded. There's not a lot of cards that you want to banish. So this light target is really good because it can put a lot of pressure on your opponent. It comes back to the hand when Fusion is sent to the graveyard. So you always get that extra card in hand. And personally, I think this is the best light target you can have in this deck. Mercurier 1, Kid at 1. Kid is important because you can search it off of High Spirits. I'll explain in a second. 2 Keldo, 3 Medora, 1 Kelbeck. Kelbeck is just a good hand trap, right? Just really good to draw. 3 Medora and 2 Keldo. The reason behind this is, again, as I've said in the beginning, these have synergy with Branded High Spirits, which I'll explain when I get to Branded High Spirits. But overall, Tearlaments, when they will play against you in Master Duel, they will mill your deck. It's not a YCS. They will mill everything that they can. And when they do, they're going to hit these shufflers so you can spin their cards back. And together with 5 shufflers, Ash, Maxi, and 3 DD Crow, you're really good. And of course 2 called by if you're going first, but you should be really solid against Tearlaments. 1 Dramaturge, 1 Albion, 1 Adlib, just for the extra push for the Branded Red. I think these are absolutely solid. Maybe Dramaturge is cuttable. 3 Branded Fusion, 1 Lost, of course. 2 Super Poly, still very good against a lot of decks. And against Tearlaments, I don't want to see it at 3, so it's currently at 2. 2 Call by the Grave, 2 Opening, and then Branded High Spirits, which makes the deck go. If you don't know what this card does, it's a quick play spell card that says you can reveal 1 monster in your hand and send 1 level 8 fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard with the same type that has 2500 attack or defense, then you can apply the following effect. You discard them, and then you add one Fallen Valbaz or one monster that mentions it from the deck. So essentially, you can search for an Albaz, Ecclesia, Mercurier, Springin's Kit, and Albion. Just add them to your hand. You can, of course, send things like Albaz from your hand or Albion, and then send a Dragon monster from your extra deck to the graveyard to gain that effect. But what we do here is we use Branded High Spirits, we send a Shuffler and Construct. That way we get a Shuffler to the graveyard immediately, and we draw those. We search for an Ecclesia, for a Kit, which is a starter, Albion, and then this, when a fusion monster was sent to the graveyard, you can put this back into your hand next turn. So this gets you Shufflers in the graveyard, and it's super hard for Tier to play against, and it just makes your deck so much better against Tier because the mills are good. You want them to mill you because then you hit Shufflers yourself. Of course, you have things like Tragedy also. And, you know, Ecclesia that comes back to hand, Branded High Spirits that comes back to hand. Opening, that is really good. Retribution, if you get this to the graveyard, you can shuffle, bring back a card to your hand. And then one in red. Wait, only 32% of you are subscribed? Come on, guys. Leave a thumbs up on the video if you're enjoying this and subscribe to support the channel. This is the main deck. We have Mud Dragon for Super Poly, El Shaddai Construct, 4 Branded High Spirits. You can also shuffle this back with a Shuffler because it's Shuffler Wars at the end of the day. And then you can use Branded High Spirits again, which is very good. Starving Venom again for the Super Poly, Dragostapelia, Titaniclad, 2 Albion, 1 Quiritus, 2 Masquerade. I think in terms of strategy, you shouldn't go, if you know you're going against Tier, go for double Masquerade. This is a very good bet to go for double Masquerade because, you know, if you already have a Shuffler setup, then it's really fine to go for like a standard Mirror J Chimera combo. But like you don't want to pop cards against Tier. So double Masquerade makes sure that they have like 6 effects. And their deck needs to run in order to run. So they need to activate a lot of effects. That's how you benefit off the Masquerade. 2 Mirror Jade, 1 Lubellion, 1 Albalanidus. This is a flex. And then Chimera Albalanidus. You can replace it for a Verte Anaconda because some reason it's legal still. But this is overall the deck. We haven't lost a tier, not even once today on stream. Played like 4 or 5 tiers, not losing once. Because they will mill you and hit your Shufflers, which is such a fun way to beat Tier. And you don't have to play Tier if you don't want to. You can still play Branded, just in a new, more exciting way. So this has been the Tearlaments Killer, the Ishizu Shuffler, the Dominator, whatever you want to call it. And I do hope you enjoy this. If you do want more Master Duel content, join on Wednesdays for the streams. And also comment below if you do enjoy this type of Master Duel content. I'll definitely do that much more because now we have a very interesting format that we can enjoy. Thank you so much for everybody who has been on stream today. Thank you so much for you guys for watching. Like the video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Really helps. If you do want to support the channel a little bit further, you can check out tierzerogames.com, pre-order some tins, Cyberstorm access, use code GALZO5. Really helps the channel, 5% off of everything. And of course, join the Discord or join as a member to support further. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.